Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, Nobody's probably here yet. This is, in case you're watching this later, this is being streamed live. And so I've been getting a lot of questions. I'll go over it once I get some people in here about what I'm going to do here. I'm just kind of setting things up. So bear with me. I'm going to give it a little bit, let some people get in here. I've been getting asked about this, so I figured why not do a stream showing how I do my stream. My live streams, that is. So right now I'm just setting things up so that you guys will be able to kind of follow me around in here. And first of all, see the mess that I have going on, but also I'll go through each little section that I have and how everything's connected, and you know, and how everything works sometimes. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments or in the chat. All right. Let's see. So now I'm gonna, screen's gonna go black for a second here. Actually, no. Let's do this. Let me get this plugged in. Hopefully this is gonna work. Screen is black. I need to add in camera. There it is. All right. So I'm back here. Hey Tracy. So yeah, if you're here, just say hello. We're gonna get this started. I'm just trying to share this in a couple of places because this was a last-minute thing. It's starting to rain pretty good here, so I figured why not go out into the studio and just do this video that I've been asked about. So share. I'm gonna share this in a group. What's up, Luke? I'm just gonna wait a few, let people get in, and I need to. What am I looking for here? Hold on one second, guys and girls, if there are any girls here. See you, Tracy. Right now I'm just setting up my phone so I can kind of walk around the room here to show you everything that I'm doing. Let's see. I don't want the phone to fall out of this thing. Probably can't use this. What's up? If you're just here, just waiting a few minutes because I'm waiting on a few people and getting everything set up. This was a last minute thing that I hadn't planned on, but I was getting a lot of questions as to how I do my live streams when I'm playing. So I'm just trying to set up some stuff here for you. If you got any questions, just you know what to do. Right in the chat. Hey, thanks, Bobby. So I'm trying to get my iPhone hooked up as a camera source so I can walk around the room here with it. And it's not cooperating. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to have to hold it. So let me switch over to the phone and you'll see my... There we go. You can see me struggling. Remember, we're on a delay here. You may get my voice doubled just because I have the internal microphone on and I'm also using the mic from the iPhone. So let's go back to here and let's see. Welcome from Latvia on Twitch. I keep forgetting that I am streaming to Twitch too now. Alright, so I'm going to get started. So if you have seen my my live streams, you know I'm basically playing guitar to backing tracks, singing backing vocals, and oops, hold on one second. I got a message from Tracy here. All right. Oh man, I keep forgetting I have hotkeys set up, so when I'm typing, it's switching. What's up, Pap? It's switching over on me. All right, I got the iPhone rigged up. When I switch to the iPhone, I'm going to shut the internal mic off so it doesn't double up on you guys. Sorry, I keep getting messages now about the chat here, about the stream. All right, so what am I using? Basically, I have an iMac, and I'm going to start with the backing tracks on the iMac. I'm using Logic Pro X or 10, or whatever you want to call it, and that's what's playing my backing tracks. And I have my iPad set up back in my streaming area, running Logic Remote. Hey, Mike. Running Logic Remote, and this way I can control Logic with that. Stop this, start the song, stop the songs, go to the next one, go to one down the road, whatever. So let me show you what I have going on the computer here. Now you're gonna see me in the window too, but actually no, you won't, because if I do it this way, it'll be a lot easier. I'm gonna try to have a steady hand with this, but yeah, you will see me. All right, so I got Logic running, and these are all my backing tracks in Logic. I have them all on. Now, if any of you guys out there have a better way of doing this, I have them all on one track, and I have MIDI regions up here where Logic is sending out MIDI messages to my Helix, which I will get to in a minute, and it's switching snapshots and turning stuff on and off for me during songs, as I'm playing. So I don't have to be looking down and stepping on the switches, and especially when I'm trying to sing backup, I don't have to worry about that. So it's all automated, and if anybody has a question as to how I'm doing it, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's tedious, but it's simple, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions on that if you don't know how to do it. So I have Logic running on the Mac. I have OBS, which is the streaming software that pretty much everybody uses. There's OBS, there's Streamlabs OBS, which is kind of the same thing, but a little more for gamers, I believe. And there's other stuff like Ecamm Live that's really good, and there are a couple other ones. I use OBS because it's free, and it's very you can actually change a lot on it, and you can pretty much do anything you want. Sorry for I don't have a steady hand. I'm trying to hold this as steady as possible, and I'm going to need to walk around the room with it. So if you get motion sickness, I apologize up front. But let me switch back here. Oh, sorry. Bobby, you're always there for me on YouTube. I turned off the internal mic because I didn't want it to be doubled. All right, so you probably missed everything I was just saying. So I'm using Logic, and everything's running to. I have a small mixer back there, which we'll get to, and that's running to my Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 interface. I used to run everything through that, as far as the guitar, the vocal, the talk box, the acoustic, and then into Logic, but it seemed to be bogging the computer down a little bit, so I ended up getting the small mixer, and it's a lot easier on the fly when I'm playing. Because some of these backing tracks that I'm finding the levels aren't right, even though I tried normalizing the levels, which means getting all the songs to be the same volume. Even if it looks like they're the same volume, I think it's just the way they're recorded. They just don't end up being that way. So, long story short, I got a mixer back there. We'll go back there in a minute. So what did I say? We got Logic, OBS, and now I'm running 3 different cameras. I have 2 Logitech C920s, which I will show you. And last night, for the first time, I added a 3rd camera in, which is my iPhone. Last week, I actually I paid like $200 on Amazon for a capture device to use my GoPro, which is right here. I got the GoPro Hero 8 Black with the media mod, and you can go HDMI out of it. But you need to convert that signal for the computer to understand what it is as a web camera. The device worked. It was perfect, but whatever it was doing, the rest of the computer didn't like. So nothing else was working. Everything would just like either freeze or just shut down on me. So I sent that back, got a refund already. And I said, I might as well just use my my iPhone until I can pick up another iPad to do the third camera. Because I was using my iPhone with an app called Touch Portal, where you can set like hotkeys instead of using your actual keyboard. You can do it right from the phone. It's kind of like a Stream Deck, if you're familiar with the Elgato Stream Deck, where you can pretty much program all the buttons to do whatever you want. If you want to open a certain app with a button, you just press it and not have to be near the computer. It can be away from it. So that's why I kind of want to get my my iPhone back. But for now, I'm using it as the third camera. We're going to use it as our walkthrough camera here. And all right, I'm trying to. Like I said, this was last minute because I keep getting questions about this, and I had nothing to do this afternoon because of the weather. So we're going to kind of walk through this. So my studio, if you've never seen it, it's my garage, and I basically did this whole thing last fall. And when I first started doing the streams, I got I think it was like a $12 15-foot by 9-foot green screen. What I thought was a green screen, it was really just a giant green sheet from Amazon, which was fine because it worked. And I would hang it from the rafters I have up here, and I'd have, you know, all kinds of weird things going on behind me. But lately, and that was all happening behind me. This couch was in the corner over here, and this whole studio was becoming a stream zone, and it was taking away from the other stuff that I do in here. So last week I made the decision to just go to a corner with the stream, and you'll see that, and it's kind of difficult to get in there. So it's let me see, backing tracks allowed compared to mic and car. Bobby, it's weird because I watched I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the same time, so I'm going to be answering questions in case you're on Facebook and you're wondering who Bobby is. Bobby is a friend of mine who's on YouTube and follows me on YouTube, and he says he's always having to turn up his volume when I talk, when I'm doing my live streams. But what I wanted to tell Bobby was I rewatch my streams, you know, every time I do them. Like I watched last night's this morning, and the levels where I was actually really surprised. The levels were perfect. I could hear my vocal during the song, and I can more than hear it. It was pretty loud during, you know, when I'm not playing and I'm just addressing whoever's watching. So I don't know, maybe it's something with your setup, Bobby, or some kind of setting that you have off. And I've gotten it from other people too, that they're able to hear me. I want to refresh this chat box because this way you guys might be able to see what's going on everywhere else. All right, so next we're going to move along. So I'm like I said, I got the Logic Pro OBS, I got the Focusrite interface. I have Yamaha HS8 studio monitors, which you'll probably get a glimpse of in here. As far as lights go, right now I'm using an LED panel light. You know what? Let's just switch over. And hopefully my extension is long enough here to get you guys over to the other side of the room. So let's do this. All right. So here's the computer. I'm sitting at the computer. Sorry for the sudden movements. I just waved, and there's going to be a huge delay on that. See how long that took to see that. All right, so let's walk over. So we're heading to my stream corner. Now, right here, you can see this. I got a mic stand. This is where the iPhone that I'm holding would normally sit, and you'd get that kind of view to where I normally would be standing doing these streams. Hopefully, you guys are hearing me. Now here's my second camera, the Logitech C920. This is just a different angle. It kind of pointed up towards me while I'm standing in it. And then the third camera is right there, and that's for guitar when I'm doing a solo or a lead. And now the LED panel that I mentioned, it's right here. Got this off of Amazon. I think it was like $50, but it's really bright, and it also you can change not only the brightness, but you can change the CCT. I forgot what that stands for, but you can make it go from almost like a blue tint to like a yellow tint on it, depending on what type of light you want. So let's go in. Let's go into the area. Oh, I do have a fog machine down there, but I really haven't used it yet because the one time I tried it, you know, during sound checking, my you can see it up there. The smoke detector went off. I tried it the other day and it didn't go off, but I didn't want to chance it. Sorry about this camera because I'm trying to get through all this. I'm gonna have to go around here. Hold on, I'm spinning. Look at this mess of cables. Like I said, the stream was taking over this studio, so I needed to do something. All right, and now I gotta climb over stuff. All right, so let me turn this around. So this is where I stand when I'm doing my live streams. It's a very small area, really small. So I got a 3-guitar stand. I got my double neck. I got my main guitar here, my main Fender. I got my Fender Floyd here, and then I also have access to these guitars on the wall when I need to use them. Let's start over on the table, or the fake table that I have here. So I have this. This is actually a TV. I use it as a second monitor. I will put I'll put Facebook up and YouTube up over here so I can read your comments and be able to answer you, you know, on the mic. Sometimes I can't get to all of them because they move so fast, but I try to get to as much as I can. Got an umbrella light here, but it's blocking. I don't have it turned around because I was finding I was getting way too much light hitting my face, and there's the LED right there. You can see it. That gives enough, but this other umbrella light gives kind of a glow around everything. It looks kind of cool. So this is the Mackie, the Pro FX10 version 3, 10 channel, but I'm only using it I have my guitar, which I'm using, if you can see it, the Synergy Syn 1 with the Friedman BEBB module in it. That's what all my guitar tones are coming from that. So that's going direct into here, but I'm running that 4-cable method with my Helix, which we'll get to. I just have the hum eliminator on here just as a force of habit. So I have guitar, then I have a dual thing here where I have my vocal mic and my talk box mic, and this cable right here is for the double neck acoustic. Then I have my main outs, which I said go to my Focusrite and then into OBS. So this way I can actually, and this has effects built into it, so I can add a little reverb or delay on my voice if I want to. It's been working out really well. It's making things a lot easier, and I can use this for other stuff too. So normally I'll have my computer keyboard here and the mouse here, and I can do all that from here. LED light. This is another Amazon find. I think I got 2 of these for like $30, and the other one is right there. So they come with these little remotes. So see if I can turn that on. And that one's blue. You pretty much set it to any color. It's just tough. You got to point it right at it to shut it off. And then I also picked up this other LED light bar, I guess you call it, which also, this is DMX enabled. I don't have any DMX controllers, which if you're not familiar with that, it's just a lighting system, like a controller that you can set patterns on lights, and you can pretty much, it's almost like a mixing board for lights. But I just bought that because that's another Amazon find, pretty cheap. Headrush FR 112. This thing for $300 has been a godsend. I use it all the time. Sometimes I'll play the Synergy through it. It sounds great. But right now I'm using it. This is my monitor when I'm doing my streams. Now I have sound is also coming out of the studio monitors, the Yamaha HS8s. But from where I'm standing, I can't really hear it enough. So this monitor's here, and I can control this with the Focusrite software on the computer if I want it louder or softer. But so the whole mix comes through that for me. Let's see. So going up, I got my vocal mic SM58 and my talkbox mic, the SM57, you know, the industry standards. And I have the dual mic mount here and talkbox. So now I have my iPad. Let me see. So down there's the Helix, but I have my, let me get this on here, my iPad. So I can run, it should come up on here. Yeah, there it is. Logic Remote. So rather than having to go over to the table here and start, you know, the backing tracks using the mouse and the keyboard, this is probably not going to connect right now because I don't think I don't have it set up right. But from here, I'll be able to see all the tracks up here, and then if I need to lower the backing tracks, I can do it from here. Then I can skip ahead, I can go back, and it just makes life a lot easier. Oh, there it is. Let's see if that, yeah, so there we go. So I got Loverboy working for the weekend, which is one of the songs I do. And Cherry Pie, and I got an original, Kiss, Billy Joel. So all my, controlling all the backing tracks are right from here. It's just as simple as hitting the button, the play button, and we're off and running. I'll usually put a click so I can tap tempo into the Helix. Sorry about the cable here, but I didn't want to, this is plugged into OBS to be able to get this video on here. So this is the board I built for the Helix. This is going to be, you know, my live gig board too. I got the Friedman buffer bay there, and I got the talk box. And the Helix is pretty much the brain of my whole setup. It's unbelievable. If you don't have one, you need to get one. This is the third one I've owned. This is going to be the last one I own. I will not be, I'm not going to be selling this thing again. I learned my lesson. So the Helix is 4-cable method, which basically it's running all my effects before and after the synergy that I'm using for my tone. I don't have any cabinets here. All the tones going direct into the mixer. And the cool thing, let me stand up here. The cool thing is that, so Logic is, like I said earlier, Logic is sending, in each song, there are MIDI regions in each one of those songs that I have for backing tracks. And at precise moments in the songs, where you would normally, you know, step down on, say you want to add a flanger or a phaser in a certain little part of the song. Instead of me having to step down on it, I have Logic is sending the MIDI message to the Helix, and it's changing the Helix as it goes along, you know, in the play line, the timeline. And the other cool thing, the Helix is then sending hotkey. This is like a genius. Sorry about the mic. Genius of Line 6 to do, and with the command center in the Helix, and you guys that have the Helix know all about this. You can actually control hotkeys on your computer, meaning if you want, say you wanted to open an app or something on your Mac or Windows or whatever, you can, and you have it set to like the number 1 on your keyboard is, every time you press that, it's going to do this on your computer. You can do that with the Helix. And so what I have going on is I'm able to, in OBS for the 3 cameras, so I have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, I can set those cameras as hotkeys, and then from the Helix, anytime it goes to, like, say I want my lead snapshot is camera 2, which is the one that's closest, showing just the guitar and not really showing my face. It shows the guitar. So anytime I hit the lead, well, I'm actually not stepping on it because Logic is telling it to change. It's also telling, the Helix is sending it back into the computer and telling OBS switch to that camera anytime that snapshot comes in. And same thing. And I also was able to, let me turn this back around. So if you see here, it says scene 1, scene 2. So the way I have it set up, scene 3 is my main camera, which is this iPhone that I'm holding right now. So that's the main camera, and that will default via the programming with Logic and everything. But say I'm on this iPhone camera, this main camera, and I feel like I want to change it up a little, I can then just hit one of these and it will switch to that, the first camera or the second camera, depending on what I want to do, and I can do it as many times as I want. And to get back to the main camera, number 3, all I got to do is re-hit that stupid microphone. All I got to do is re-hit that snapshot that camera 3, the hotkey for that was hooked up to. I'm hoping this is making sense, because it took a while for me to get this all kind of wrapped around my brain and get it all set up. But last night I did a stream. I do it every Wednesday night at like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless there's a reason I can't do it. So last night I worked all day on this stuff and did some testing. I live streamed, like just standing here and playing and going through songs and making sure the cameras were switching and all that. Perfect all day. But 5 or 10 minutes before I go live, nothing is working. So ended up rebooting the computer, and then finally I got on. I was a few minutes late, but last night was the first stream that I did that was actually near perfect. It's not my playing. My playing was all over the place. I find I'm spending more time worrying about all this other stuff. I'm gonna head back over to my computer because it looks like I might have some questions. So I spend more time going over all this other stuff, and I'm not really, concentrating on my playing, which I should be. But I played okay last night. It'll get better. Once I know that I'm confident that this stuff is working better, I'm going to go from there. Let me just check my messages. All right. Nothing. We got a few people on and off. There's a lot of people working right now. So I'm going to leave this video up anyway when I'm done. So those that couldn't go check it, they can look it up on YouTube, and it'll probably be on Facebook too. But if you have a question, just put it in the chat, and like I said, I'll be happy to answer. It was a long road, and I say this on my streams. Let me switch back here. Hold on one second. I don't know why my mic. Thanks, my buddy's on YouTube, always looking out for me. I don't know why my mic keeps shutting off. See, this is what I mean. I was saying, you probably didn't hear that I spend more time worrying about all the other stuff than my actual playing, which I end up screwing up a lot of the times. But thanks, Pap Smear on YouTube for letting me that, and Bobby also earlier. So what I was saying is, the main reason, I've been saying this on the streams, the main reason I started doing the streaming is because, like many other bands, my band can't play. And you guys, are you getting the mic now? You should be getting it. Yeah, I know. It was when I switched, but when I switched back over, it actually, I did switch on the right mic, but then didn't realize that it turned off by itself. So I'm seeing the meters now, so hopefully you're getting this. So please let me know that you can hear me. All right, cool. Thank you. Those are my my sound engineers there on YouTube. So yeah, so the band can't play, and I said I don't even want to get into the reasons because of what's going on. Don't get me started on that. That's another platform. But so we haven't played since February 29th, and back then when this all hit the fan, I was thinking to myself, well, you know, what happens if this lasts a month? Now this is the end of February, so we have March, April, May. We're into June, into the fourth month now. So I said, I'll try the streaming thing. I've seen others do it. You know, when I first started doing it, I had the one camera. It probably sounded pretty bad, but I kept going with it. I kept improving. And as this thing started, you know, this pandemic started gaining more steam, I started adding more stuff. I had the green screen. I had added a second camera. And, you know, you people, friends, I should say, that I've been watching this whole time know what I'm talking about. You've seen this whole thing progress as to what I'm doing. But now it's looking like, you know, most of my band shows are getting canceled or pushed to next year, and it might even be through the rest of this year, the way things are going, which I think is ridiculous. But like I said, I'm gonna be good here. So I decided to concentrate more on the streaming side of this whole thing. And the other big reason to do this is that I didn't want to, you know, if I didn't start streaming and I wasn't playing, and I'm doing obviously doing a lot of the Bon Jovi songs. And the main reason was because I didn't want to be sitting home for a month or 2 or 3 months and not playing those songs. I may have, you know, I'm playing my guitar every day, but I really probably wasn't going to be playing Bon Jovi. So I said, well, doing these streams, I can at least still play the song. So when the time comes that we can get back out there and, you know, and play regular shows, I'm not going to have to relearn all these songs. Let me see. What do we got here for a comment? Oh, thanks, man. Says the streams get better all the time. I hope so, because I'm putting a lot of work into these things. And like I said, I watched last night's this morning, and I was actually impressed by how it looked and how it sounded. So I was happy with it. Getting the hang. I'm pretty good with all this stuff, but the more I do it, obviously, the more I'm figuring out other things that I can do, and the better it's going to be moving forward. Again, you're at the mercy of technology, so at any moment, and this has happened before, at any moment something could stop working. I've had a couple of streams where it, you know, that happened, where stuff just shut down, and oh, here's one for you guitar players out there. And I mentioned this before. I was having this huge issue. This is about maybe a month and a half ago, and you guys that have watched the stream, you know about it. This happened and it's my own stupidity. So around that time, my streams were good. Like, as far as my internet connection, and I have a really good fast internet connection here. And around that time, I added Wanted Dead or Alive into my set. I'm using the double neck acoustic and then switching to my electric for the solo. When I started doing that, I switched to my wireless. Hey, Will, what's up? I switched to my wireless at the time, my guitar wireless, which is actually, it's right in front of me. It's the Carvin WG5, and it works really well. It's cheap, and I haven't had any problems with it. This is the only problem I've had. Not thinking, and I don't know why. I think it's because I had so much going on with the stream and trying to do that and get it right, that I wasn't thinking about this. This is what happened. So right around the time when I switched to the guitar wireless, my internet connection, it'd be great all day, right? When I was on the computer, I wasn't streaming, but at my computer it was perfect speed. Then 5 or 10 minutes before I would go live, I'd turn on the wireless, and I noticed that I was getting 500 megabytes a second out here in my studio, which is really good. And it was dropping down to like 0.10 the speed. It was like non-existent. And I was racking my brain for days. I ordered another. I used the Orbi Mesh network system. And I ordered another satellite to bring out here specifically. And like I said, during the day it was great. Then as soon as I went to do my streams, it would go down to nothing. It was driving me crazy. I have Verizon. I called them. They couldn't do anything. I was on forums with Orbi, and they're telling me, do this, do this, do this. And I was doing all these updates and firmware updates and everything was working fine when I was doing it. But then, and it was always like I said, I do my streams usually at 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights. It would be right at 6 o'clock that I would lose my connection. I could not figure out what was going on, and it was driving me nuts. So it ended up being, and you probably already figured this out by now if you don't know this story, it's because I was using the wireless. This wireless is, I believe it's on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't thinking I'm the musician, I'm the backup singer, the producer, I'm the sound guy, I'm the light guy, I'm the engineer, I'm doing all this other stuff, and I wasn't thinking about the simplest thing, where turning my wireless on was cutting my internet connection down to nothing, just interfering. It just popped into my head one day, and the reason I used the wireless, like I said, I started doing Wanted Dead or Alive, and I didn't want to have the cable from the acoustic and the cable from my guitar getting kind of mixed up when I'm switching mid-song. So I have to deal with that now. I'm obviously using the cables because the wireless was just killing my internet, and I spent like $200 on another satellite, which I'm kind of glad I did because I'm using it. But I had, even before I had that satellite, I had really good internet speed out here. It was the weirdest thing. I would do the speed test that that you can do, and I'd be in the house and it was like a gig. I was up to a gig, hardwired. Then I do in the house on the Wi-Fi, and it was like 500, 600 megabytes per second, upload and download. I'd come out here, it'd be the same thing. But then as soon as I went to do my stream, right down, it go right down. So that's something to think about if you're gonna start streaming and you're playing live guitar. Even if you're going to a venue to stream, you might want to think about not using your wireless for that, because probably the same thing's going to happen. I know I'm doing a lot of talking here, so if anybody has any questions, we got a good amount of people on here. I can see the number. Bobby on YouTube, you can stream live to TV too. Yep. I watch all my YouTube stuff on my TV anyway. I rarely will use my phone to watch anything in like an important video or something, just because if I want to hear, especially if it's music, I don't want to hear the sound coming out of the the little speakers that are on your phone, iPhone or Android, whatever you're using. So anything music related, I will watch on. I'll either watch on, if I do it on a phone, I'll put my AirPods in so the sound's better. But I'll normally go try to find a TV and watch it from there, just because I want it to sound good. So what we can do next is, let's see, we can go around and I can show you the lights. I know I did a quick rundown of the lights, but I can turn off these big lights and I will put on one by one the lights that I have over here. Actually, I'm going to put the panel LED on first before I shut these lights, because then I'm going to end up tripping over everything because this place gets pretty dark. So let me turn this panel light on, and also one of the LEDs. Actually, the umbrella light turned on too, because I have them all hooked up together. And I'm going to turn off the lights in here. Now you can't even tell that it really got too. You can see it got darker in here, but you can't tell that it's pretty dark in here. But I'm getting all the light off that. Remember, I turned that umbrella light around, so it's coming out this way. Let's switch over to, yeah, Will, OBS works great for me. I'm on it right now. Let's see. We'll be using the air conditioner or dehumidifier yet in the studio. Yes, actually, I have. I just put the air conditioner in to the. I got another one too. I can put it in both windows because I insulated this thing like crazy, and right now it's 71 degrees in here with nothing on. When it gets warm in here, it stays warm. When it gets cold, it stays cold. So I think the one AC will be fine in here, and yes, I will be getting a dehumidifier, definitely. I had a small one hanging around somewhere. I gotta find it. Might be in my workshop. But yeah, good question though on that. Definitely need that stuff. All right, so let's. I'm gonna switch over to the other camera. I'll try to remember about the microphones. All right, we're back here. You should still be able to hear me. I'm holding the iPhone now. So let's walk over. And again, I got to be careful because there's cables everywhere. I don't want to have one of those blooper videos where I go flying and right into everything and everything falls over. So right now, I'll turn this around. LED panel light is on. And this is a rechargeable one too, so even if I don't have it plugged in, it will still run. It's at, I believe, 60%. It looks like the battery looks like it's all the way up. Haven't figured that out yet, but let's get back into the space. Like I said, it's like an obstacle course to get in here. All right, let me turn this around. So we got the panel light on, we got the umbrella light on, and then down there's that LED. I have it set to red, the bar light. And then if I turn on, where's that thing? If I turn on the other two, the blue and the pink. So when I'm standing in here, I'll show you my view of what I'm looking at from the mics. So there's the heads of the mics. You got that bright panel light there. You got the umbrella light there. You got the LED down here, and then you got the two LEDs, one there and one there. So the only one that really bothers me is obviously that panel light there, because it's just really bright. So I just have to keep looking down. But like I said, I used to have the green screen when I was standing on where the couch is now that you saw when I was sitting down. I had that giant green screen back there, and I would use, like, if I was playing a Bon Jovi song, there'd be a Bon Jovi logo or a Whitesnake logo, whatever song I was playing. I was using OBS and Touch Portal to switch those. It was cool. Like when I first started doing it, I was like, oh, look what I can do, green screen. But now it's just, to me, it was more of a hassle that to have to worry about that. I got enough stuff to worry about when I'm doing this that I'm just gonna shut these lights off. That these things are not easy to shut off. That I don't really care about the green screen stuff anymore. It's if I want to use it again, I'll use it again. But for now, I'm gonna switch back over to the other thing, and I'm gonna make sure the mic is on. All right, you should have audio back when I'm sitting down. There we go. Make sure, you guys, my sound engineers here, let me know that you can hear me. I'm pointing at my ears just in case you can't. But I'm going to turn the light back on, the big one. And if you can hear that, you know what that noise is? And I did this last night during my stream. It's actually, I have that, what do they call it, tile? That tile thing, so you have it on your keys. If you lose your keys, you can press the button. And actually, if you lose your phone, either or, your keys or your phone, you can press whatever one you do have, you press the button, it'll find the other thing. I keep hitting, I have my keys in my pocket. What's up, Dave? Got my keys in my pocket, and I keep hitting the stupid button, and it sends a song to my phone. All right, let me shut off these lights over here. Thank you. Yeah, so it's coming together. It took a lot to get here, as far as the the sound. The guitar sound that I've been getting from the Synergy, the Syn 1, or any of the Syn. Like I had the Syn 50 head and I had the Syn 2, but I went down to the Syn 1 because I realized I didn't need all that extra stuff. But the tone, it happens at least once every stream as someone says the guitar sounds great or sounds incredible or this or that. What are you using? What are you doing? It's all the Synergy, with the Helix providing the effects and all the switching and everything. I do want to kind of get the best of both and use the Helix amps for some of the songs where I can't get to the right tone just using the Synergy, because like I said, I'm using the Friedman, the BBBE module, which is the Buxom Betty clean, and the BE100, the crunch channel basically. But I'm using all of that. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, someone was at my door. So I'm just using that, and the Helix is giving me with the BE, it's giving me, using an overdriver too, I can get into like heavier stuff if I need it. But I'd be lying if I said I'm not dying to try the Bogner Ecstasy module someday. But again, I don't really need it right now. The resolution got way better when I put the lights on. It was a bit grainy with the color lights. Don't know if you can see that on your monitor. Well, yeah, the color lights are going to do that. I was worried about that too. But when I went back, like I said, I went back and watched last night's stream this morning, because I'm monitoring the stream on that monitor back there, and it looked kind of funky to me last night while I was doing it. But when I watched it back, it looked good. So it looked pretty clear. Make sure you're, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you got your, what do you call it, your resolution up. I don't know why mine always defaults to like, what is it? Always defaults to, I'm looking at it now, like 480p, and I always have to manually put it to 1080. If anybody knows a way for my account to just manually go to 1080 no matter what I'm watching, please let me know. And also, like I said earlier that I'm using Logic for my backing tracks, and I have all the tracks on one, well, all the songs on one track, and I have markers set to go to each song. If anybody out there knows an easier way to do it, now keep in mind I was using Logic first. I got off of that. I tried Ableton Live, but I've never used it before, and for me to learn the whole thing, no thanks. I bought MainStage, Apple MainStage, because someone had mentioned that people run their tracks live, not knowing that I was just using a plain simple stereo track. I wasn't running all the external, MIDI stuff and everything. So MainStage didn't work for me, and then I got that I was running all my backing tracks off the iPad using OnSong, and OnSong was able to send MIDI messages to the Helix to switch. But the problem with OnSong, and it's a great app if you're like an acoustic guy, acoustic duo, it's perfect for that. But it was able to send MIDI messages to switch, but you couldn't choose where exactly. You need, like, sometimes you need an exact point in the song for it to switch. That will only switch if you put it like where a word is, like, because it showed you have to put all the lyrics in for the songs, so it'll let you put a MIDI message like on a word, and it just, the reaction time of when it gets to that point and when it needs to switch, it was kind of there's a little bit of a lag, so I stopped using OnSong and I went back to Logic. Yeah, Richie Castellano, I know. He's in another world, another stratosphere. He great guy. He's helped me out a bunch of times, but he's using a PC, I'm using a Mac. He has access to a lot better equipment than I do. He's got his whole lighting rig all programmed. I'm just, I leave my lights on. He has his switching. He's got that TV monitor behind him that plays all kind of backgrounds. He's got his own thing going on. I'm doing some of the same stuff, but I don't want it to look like his show. I watch his shows all the time. He's unbelievable. But trying to do my own thing. And plus Richie's a great singer. I don't really sing. I do backing vocals. That's what I do in my band. So I'm using backing tracks with the lead vocal in there. So there's a difference. He's making his own backing tracks too. What's funny is I made a backing track for an AC/DC song because I was having an issue. I think it was You Shook Me All Night Long. So I got the backing track for that. Played it once. And Facebook blocked it. And then YouTube blocked it and stopped the stream because of that one AC/DC track. So I said, all right. My friend Chris plays drums for an AC/DC tribute, Dirty Deeds. I said, let me just, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna record that song myself as my own backing track. I had Chris play the drums. I did the guitars, the bass, and I did the rhythm guitar, and then I played the lead, and I put some vocals in there. And same exact thing happened. YouTube sends me an email saying there was a copyright claim on this, and they're not allowing you to use this. They thought it was an actual AC/DC live from Spain in 1996. It was that specific. This is from a concert in 1996 called this AC/DC live from whatever, Barcelona or something. You can't use this song. Blocked. Even though it was, what I recorded. But the whole copyright thing, don't get me started on that either. That's a whole nother can of worms. I'm all for copyright protection because I have my own stuff. But what YouTube is doing is it's ridiculous, and just the way they go about this. And it's not just YouTube; it's the whole music industry. To me, like playing in a tribute band is kind of the same thing, where you're paying tribute to a certain band, you're playing their music, right? Yes, you're getting paid for your performance, but you're also helping to sell that band. You're helping to sell the band that you're paying tribute to. I can't even count how many times after a show, someone, obviously I do Bon Jovi stuff, someone would come up to me and say, I'm really not a fan of Bon Jovi. I just came because my friends wanted to come and I wanted to hang out with them. And he's like, after seeing you guys play the songs, these Bon Jovi songs that I never really, paid attention to, now I'm going to go out and at least buy the Greatest Hits album or CD. So you're actually, tribute bands actually help, to me, they're helping the real acts because it's just promotion for them. It's not a vicious thing. You're not trying to steal anything from them. And that's where it goes back to the whole copyright thing where, they won't let you, they just won't let you play anything on YouTube. So, like last night I don't know how many songs I did, maybe 20. And I probably got 11 copyright emails from YouTube. Now, these are the good copyright emails, the ones that I don't mind. I get something saying, this is a copyright claim on this song. It'll show the song and who owns it. And it's usually not the artist, it's the publishing company. And this is not a strike against my account. This is, you're allowed to, you can keep playing it, but there may be ads that appear in your videos, and I myself can't make any money off of my YouTube videos where I'm performing other people's songs. Fine. Not looking to make money off other people's songs. That's why I do the whole tip thing. But I know people that get a strike against their account on YouTube, and if you get 3 strikes, you're all done. Your account's done. They no more account on YouTube. So you gotta lightly tread on that. So usually, and Facebook's even worse too. Like the stream I did last night, I haven't taken it down yet. It's on my music page, I got emails saying this song, this song, this song, violated whatever, and what they do is they mute sections of the video. So normally what I do, I tell people I'll do a live stream, and if you want to see it, be there for the live stream, because normally like the right after or the next day or the next couple of days I'll delete it from Facebook. YouTube, it depends. If I watch it back and I think it sounds okay, I might leave it up so people can watch it later. And they don't block or mute anything on YouTube. I just get those emails. But yeah, so if you really want to see, now this is for me myself, if you really want to see my streams, I try to tell people to come when it's live. Like you're going to a show, even though it's it's a show, but it's not. Just show up at the time I'm doing it, and you'll be able to see it, because normally I will delete them. Let's see. Playing a live gig or live stream should be fine. It's not like you're selling cover. No, exactly. I'm not selling any. I'm asking for tips. It's just like any guy. You can walk down anywhere in New York, and there's a guy in a corner with an acoustic guitar. He's got a hat out for tips, and he's playing cover songs. They're not cracking down on him. He's doing the same exact thing. It's just that he's not on a media platform. I got something in my teeth. I'm not sure what it is. It's driving me nuts. But anybody, I know there's still a few people here looking at the numbers. If you have any questions about what I went through earlier with the whole stream setup, the lights, how I run everything, what I'm using, the software, the hardware, drop me a note, put it in the comments now, whatever, when this is on YouTube. I don't know if you can actually comment on a video that was live streamed and then you watch it later. I haven't really seen that. It looks like comments were turned off, and I checked my account and I didn't have them off. So again, the best thing to do is to get here when I'm live, and when anyone's doing a live show, not just me. If anyone's doing a live show, that's pretty much all we have right now. So try to support it if you can, because it might be the only thing we're seeing for a while. Let's see, I got more messages coming in here. What is this? I can check that later. I'm still trying to figure out why, like, this is just for the Facebook thing. So I go live, and then while I'm live, I'll share. I'm doing it from my musician page, not from my personal profile. And then I'll share to my personal profile the video, so you can go right there. And I'm finding that people are commenting on the shared thing, and they're not so I'm not seeing these comments until I'm done with the show, and if they have a question, I can't answer it. Anybody watching now, you need to come into the live video and then use the chat for me to be able to see it in real time. Otherwise I don't see it, or by the time I do see it later on when I'm all done, it's too late to answer your question anyway. So what else? How long have I been on here? Wow, it's been an hour. Jeez. I know I waited like 5 or 10 minutes at the start for people to trickle in. Who is talking to you on Facebook? Who is here on Facebook? Say something in the chat. I can see Susan's here. Hey, Susan. Brian, what's up, Brian? I can see at least you two are here. I can't see who the other people are. Let's see. We got a question here on YouTube. Is there a way you can send out an email notifying us before the stream starts? Yeah, actually, Pat. So you obviously you subscribe to my channel. This is for YouTube only. Facebook's easier because I can do it the day before. If you're on YouTube, you got to hit that little bell. Where is it? So if you go onto my actual channel where all my videos are, there should be a bell. And if you hit that bell, that notifies you when either I upload a new video or I'm going live. And I have it set to notify when I do go live. I have it set to notify an hour, at least an hour before. So I know I tried it. I hit the bell for myself, and I do get the emails. Sometimes it depends on YouTube also. If they're really bogged down with a lot of people on at once, you may not get the notification until, like, there's been some where I've been an hour into the show, and then I get the email saying, oh, this, Rich Antonelli is live on YouTube now, and the show is almost over. So it really really depends on YouTube. But if you hit that bell, that's the, like, I guess they call it the notification bell. You'll get notified some way, whether I guess it's in your settings, whether it be email or however you have it set. Trying to think if I missed anything as far as the streaming setup goes. So I'm planning, like I said, I plan on every Wednesday around 6 p.m. Eastern, and for a while I was doing a couple a week. I do one on the weekends, and maybe I'll do one this weekend too. I don't know. I try to add like at least one, maybe two songs every week into the set. I think I'm up to 32 songs now. Only because you may say that's not a lot of songs, but only because I spend so much time on the production of this that I don't have the time to learn new songs. I ask people that watch, I say, suggest some songs, and everybody gives great suggestions, but there's two problems. Number one, I got to be able to find a good backing track. There's plenty of backing tracks out there, but to me, they got to sound good. And if I can't find it, then I can't do the song. Secondly, I'm looking for songs that, because of all this production, the time that it takes for me to do all this, I'm looking for songs that are really easy to learn. I'm not looking for, like, I'm not going to be playing Dream Theater, put it that way. I'm not going to be playing Yngwie Malmsteen. It's just, there's no way. I don't have that kind of time to be sitting. Learn something like that is going to take me like a week to be comfortable playing it, and probably not even playing it right. So if you notice, a lot of the songs I do, they're kind of party songs, 80s party songs. They're not that they're easy to play, but I'm really familiar with them already. And maybe I played them years ago in a band, and when you stop playing it again, it kind of comes back. Your memory kind of jars a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember how this goes. And I don't have to spend as much time learning songs, especially the rhythm's nothing. It's the solos. And there's still some songs that I've been playing lately that the solos I haven't even learned them yet. Like Cherry Pie, Warrant. I know bits and pieces of it, but there's a middle section that I haven't even sat down, even tried to learn it. So I'm playing, every time I play it on the stream, I'm playing whatever comes to mind. As long as I try to stay in key, that's all I care about at this point. Let's see, I'm just checking messages here. Yeah, you should check your emails more often. You're probably getting all the notifications. I wonder if, you know what, I don't know what type of phone you have, but if you have YouTube on your phone, the YouTube app, and you're signed in, you should get, and you click that bell, you should get the alert. You just have to allow notifications from YouTube. You should get the alert on your phone. So you really don't have to check your email as long as you have it set up correctly on your phone. Sounds like it is pouring outside right now. All day it was supposed to rain, and I can hear it. So hopefully those that stuck around, or those that are going to watch later on, hopefully my little spiel here helped you out with anything, even if it's one. I watch so many videos, and I learn so much from other people on YouTube that are doing stuff. Like, it might just be the smallest little thing, but it might click and say, oh man, why aren't I doing it like that? So That's why I do these videos. This may be, you know, repetitive, or it may be some of you out there might be watching this saying, that's easy. Why are you even coming on here showing that? It's like common sense. But there are people out there that probably don't know how to do something that I showed here today, because I know I was one of them. Let's see. Susan has some suggestions. Aerosmith, Cheap Trick, Guns N' Roses. Awesome suggestions. I can already tell. Let me see. Not that there's a problem with those. It's just that Cheap Trick might be kind of cool. Aerosmith has 2 guitar players, so I gotta be able to find a backing track that I can control the guitar parts, meaning I can take one of the guitar parts out for me to play and have the other guy's part still in there. Or it can be a song where I can take all the guitars out and be able to handle 2 guitar players at once playing both parts. Sometimes you can, sometimes it's just impossible. Guns N' Roses is the same way. They have 2 guitar players, and not that they're complex, but usually Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses have a lot going on in their songs. So it's kind of, you gotta kind of weigh things. Number one on top priority to me is the backing track has to sound decent or good, not just decent, good. Has to sound good. I listened to the singer first of all. If the singer, you know, Susan, last night you asked about Journey again. I said yeah, but I found some backing tracks, but the singer really, I don't know, it just didn't really sound good to my ears. And somebody like Steve Perry, who's a god, I kind of want something that's, you know, halfway there. So I'm still looking on that, but that's kind of what I run into on these things, where there's plenty of backing tracks available. It's just I want to find the ones that are you know, that sound good. Let's see what else we got here. I still have my my phone still going, so you can, for the other scene. I don't know if I left it on just in case if anybody has a question. I need to go back over to the streaming. I call it the streaming corner now. I'm so glad I did that, because take it from me, if you're gonna start streaming, just dedicate a small space for it, because this is a 17 by 15 or 17 by 16 studio I'm in, and my streaming setup was taking over the whole thing. Like if I wanted to just record normally, you know, not stream, just record something, it was difficult, because I had stuff everywhere. I would have to sit sideways over here, because the mic stand that I had back there was right up against my chair, and I couldn't really move and maneuver, and it was becoming really uncomfortable in here. So first I moved it over to that wall, and it was still the same problem. There wasn't as much room in here, and the couch was behind the curtain, and you couldn't use the couch anymore. So dedicating a small space for your streaming, highly suggested. And that's why it may take it. It's an obstacle. I gotta be in like tip-top shape to get into that area. It's like an obstacle course, like I said earlier. But being in that corner is perfect for what I need to do. It's just me. And once I'm there, like last night's stream was, I think it was 2 hours. I think I must have played 15 to 20 songs, and I didn't move. Although I did move once, because I had to check something on one of the cameras. But I stay in there and I'm good. I have everything I need there. And there's one more thing I really want to get. I need to get another iPad somehow, some way, because I don't want to keep using my phone as my my main camera. I want to have that over there with me, because I was getting a couple of important texts last night while I was streaming, and I had no idea, because the phone was on as a camera, and I have the Apple Watch, and it would normally send those notifications to my watch, but because the phone was up and running and it was on, the screen was on, it doesn't send a notification to the watch because it thinks you're looking at the phone. So I was missing important text last night while I was streaming. So yeah, I want to get like an iPad Pro and use that as either use that for the Logic remote to run Logic for the backing tracks, and then use the one on my iPad Air that I have back that I'm using now for that. Use that as the camera, or vice versa. One of them is going to be used as a camera. I really wish that GoPro would have worked. I mean, like I said, it did work, but it caused havoc on everything else on this computer. It was shutting things down like crazy. It was nuts. What am I using for my audio mic for talking? Right now, it's just my iMac, the internal mic. I do have let's see if I can pull this out. I do have a Blue Yeti USB mic that when I was doing my podcast, I would use that. I want to get the Shure, what is it, the SM7B, I believe. I want to get that. It's like $399. I would like to get that, but for now, I'm just to talk to you guys, I'm using the internal mic. And obviously, when I'm doing the streams, I got the 58 going through the mixer, going into my my interface, and then into OBS. All right, what else we got here? What does that say? Oh, I thought that was a new comment. It wasn't. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do another stream this weekend. I got a lot to do. It depends. I've been trying. Like I said, I was doing them twice a week, and I tried to bring them down to once a week because it was almost becoming overkill. But I have so much fun doing it. So sometimes I'll just out of the blue, I'll say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go stream. I'm gonna go play." Yeah, that Shure mic. I'm gonna end up getting one. And that's a whole nother thing, my podcast that I had. If you've never heard it, the Rocker Dad podcast, I believe it's still on iTunes and still available. I haven't done one it's been a long time. But I have some cool interviews on there. Richie Castellano, Frank from Line 6, a couple of guys from Lifehouse. I had Joel Hoekstra, Michael Britt. You know, Kemper guys know Michael Britt. Mark Gus Scott from Trickster. I had a lot of, come to think, I had a lot of cool guests on. Elliot Lewis from Hall & Oates. I would love to start doing the podcast again, but this is a lot of work to do, and the podcast is a lot of work to do because I was by myself and I was booking my guests. I thought of switching to just a podcast where I don't really need any guests, or I'll call a friend on and we talk about whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to get back into that because it was very, very time consuming. I met a lot of cool people through it, but I don't know if I want to get back into that. So I'm probably going to wrap this up. Look at that. Drop frames during this. An hour and 18 minutes, 74 drop frames, which is 0.1%. So with my crazy internet connection story from earlier, so this is what I should be seeing, with barely any frames are dropping, and we got kind of a smooth stream going here. And obviously, that's the number one thing that you want on your stream before anything else, before your guitar tone, before anything. You want to make sure that you have a great internet connection. I have the gigabyte from Verizon, hardwired in the house. Like I said, it's a full gigabyte upload and download. But on the Orbi Mesh network system that I'm using in here in my studio, 500 megabytes upload download. For anywhere from 3 to 500, 600 is where I'm landing, which is really, really good, especially with doing the streaming. I know I've seen some streams where, you know, the guys are like, it's all choppy, and so usually the audio goes through because it's not using as much bandwidth, but it's the video that kills you. I'm getting tired of talking. I'm Italian, so yeah, I do talk a lot, but So Susan's still here, Brian's still here, and there's others here that I can't see. I think with Facebook, I think the reason I can't see the other people, if you come in through my musician page, it means you liked that page. I can't see who you are. If you come in through my personal, like the friend page, then I can see, unless you you type something into the comments or the chat. I'm pretty sure that's what Facebook is doing. It's like I'll have like 30, 40 people on Facebook, and I can only see like 4 of them. Who they actually are. I can see your profile pictures. But if you're coming in through my musician page, I can't see who you are unless you put something in the chat. Excuse me. Getting pretty hungry, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up. I'm gonna wait a few here to see if there's any last second questions or comments or suggestions trickling in. It always happens. Like last night, I was done 4 times last night. I said, all right, here's the last song. I played the song, and I noticed that there's a ton of people on. Right at the end, right as I was saying goodnight. So I ended up playing another song. Then, all right, good. Oh, there's more people coming on. I ended up playing like 3 or 4 extra songs last night. Kenny Rocket likes the video. Thank you, Kenny. Are you actually here, Kenny? Are you watching? Good luck. Hey, if you are here, Kenny, by the way, good luck with your, anybody out there that's a Poison fan, Shot of Poison, Great Poison Tribute Band is doing a live stream I believe it's this Sunday night. Kenny, if you're here, put it in the comments, man, because I don't want to get this wrong. Hey, thanks, Pap. I'll see you soon. But yeah, Shot of Poison's doing a live stream on Sunday night. Just go on, if you don't know who they are, and you're a fan of Poison or a fan of 80s or a fan of, that glam metal or whatever, go on Facebook and look up Shot of Poison, Poison Tribute. And great bunch of guys too. So support. And I appreciate the support on these live streams, the tips that you guys give me. And I'm talking both kinds of tips on how to improve it, and also monetary tips to help me keep this going. And it does help out because, as you know, us musicians are getting hit pretty hard right now, and that includes venues, bar owners, getting hit pretty hard. So every little bit helps, and it is very appreciated. And like I said, when I'm doing my streams, I always say that tips are appreciated, not mandatory, but they are appreciated, and I do thank you for that. And plus, you get to, if you do tip during a stream and you let me know. Again, that's another reason why I don't want to keep using my phone as my main camera. I want to use an iPad. It's because when I get a tip, usually I'll get a notification on the phone, and then I'll know that you donated, and then I'll say, all right, before we play another song, so-and-so just gave me a cool tip. You get to choose the next song. And if you've been on, you can see I have my song list kind of scrolling the whole time. Thanks, Susan. I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And the best thing is that I get to keep playing music. It's the only way I can do it right now. So I think I want to go eat dinner. I'm hungry. So anyone on YouTube, if you enjoyed this or if this helped you out in any way, please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell, like I was saying earlier, so you're notified when I'm going live and when I haven't uploaded a real video in a while, just because, like I keep saying, the studio was a mess with streaming stuff, and I'm concentrating on that, and it's going to be like that for a while, I think, just doing the streams. But subscribe and let others know about it. I do a lot of Bon Jovi. If you've never watched, I do Bon Jovi because I'm in a Bon Jovi tribute. I'll do like a lot of 80s stuff. I'll do Whitesnake. I'll do Loverboy. I'll do Motley Crue, Van Halen. I'll even do I got a Billy Joel song in there. I do have one original in there right now from my old original band, and I'm probably gonna add more of that because I keep getting requests for it for whatever reason. But and on Facebook, just look me up, Rich Antonelli. I'll usually friend anybody on Facebook, and you will stay friends as long as you don't spam me with. Because lately I've been getting people friending me, and I'll give everybody a chance. I'll friend you, even if I don't know you. But then within minutes, I'll get invite, like this page, like this page. I no, I got too many. I'm liking too many pages, and then I can't see like what my actual friends are posting because I get all these other things going on. But that's another story. So yeah, so look me up on, and you can go to richardantonelli.com, my website. It's got all my stuff there. It's got stuff for the Helix, stuff for the Kemper, stuff for the fractal units, stuff for the atomic amplifier, all my music that I sell, the links to the podcast, all that stuff is there. And my bio, if you want to know anything more about me and see what I've done. And I'm trying to, did I miss anything, leave anything out? I don't think so. You can just put it this way, you can find me. And everybody, and I'm new to Twitch too, so I think I just picked up my first follower on Twitch today, which is awesome. Thank you. I'm going to go check that out soon. I haven't been monitoring Twitch, but I guess there are people watching on there. It's mostly for gamers, but you know, there is music. So until the next one, oh, one more thing. Like I said, my live music streams are usually Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every now and then I'll throw one in at some other point during the week. Just, you got to follow me, get notified. But I've been known to, like right now, like I'm doing right now, I've been known to come on during the day when I'm not landscaping or doing something else. I come on during the day and I will do something like this where I'm working on my stream, or I may be adding a new song in, or I may be adjusting, got a new light in, and I'm trying to see what it looks like, and I'll just go live stream, because there's always someone out there that can learn from something I'm doing, just like I learned from a hell of a lot of you guys watching your live streams, and that's appreciated. I've learned so much just going on YouTube and seeing stuff on Facebook of how other guys and girls do this kind of thing, and it gives me ideas, and that's why, like I said, my stream is evolving, and it's getting to a place where I'm getting pretty happy with it, even if I am stuck in a corner back there. But everyone have a good night, and thanks for tuning in. I'll leave this video up if you want to watch it later on or whatever. Obviously, there were some audio glitches where I was switching mics, and one of them got turned off on its own. It's a computer thing, and I had no idea, and my YouTube sound engineers let me know, so appreciate those guys. They're always there on YouTube for me. And just like that, I got two new friend requests of people I don't know. I'm just making sure there are no other messages here. Oh yeah, oh cool, Susan, your cousins Lucy and Nellie. Oh yeah, all right, cool. I didn't know that. Yep, they're awesome. So everyone have a good night, and I'll see you on the flip side. I'm gonna go eat dinner, and you probably should do the same too. Food is good. Take care. Signing off.